Okay, based on what I've been seeing with all of these changes that keep taking place throughout the product, I keep mentioning the need for some type of end-to-end test, maybe with Selenium or Playwright. I know Playwright is more modern, so I'm going to see if we can use Windsurf to first of all set up Playwright, set up the configuration, and then I wanted to look at the code and the features of the product to maybe come up with the top 10 tests. So I merged everything into the main branch and then created a new Playwright branch off of main. So everything that we've been working on should be here. Okay, I'm asking it to use Playwright, configure it, and let me know how to run it. Believe there are extensions for running tests. Been a while since I've done that. Could also do it from the command line. They said I want you to analyze the code and the product features to come up with the top 10 tests. The last time I was trying this through Cursor, this was a bit of an adventure. It was sometimes coming up with weird tests. It was coming up with locators that didn't exist. It was making its best guess. Surprisingly frustrating. It didn't really work great. I'm curious how far along we've come now with Windsurf and a newer Claude Sonnet 3.5 model. So let's see where this brings us. Okay, so we looked at the code base analysis. It sees as a knowledge base application with admin functionality for managing articles and categories. Okay, so some of the tests I would probably want to come up with are logging into the admin, creating categories, reordering categories, creating articles, adding keywords, and from the end user, want to make sure that the categories exist, make sure that you can view articles, make sure you can search for articles. That'll probably be a great start. So I made some changes to requirements.txt. It's adding Playwright and some PyTest files. Great. PyTest INI. Great. It's creating test e2e.py. And I believe it's going to create, yep, it's adding a tests directory, so this structure looks decent. Okay, we mentioned maybe a test for logging into the admin. Maybe it's this here. Setting up fixtures. Now we're going to get into, this is another area where we got stuck last time. You don't always want to use your main production database. You typically want to create a test database. Hopefully it's doing that here. I'm not seeing any mention of a test database though. Okay, test admin login. Second test is test category creation. Should probably be using variables for name and password here. Article creation, search functionality, view counter, that's a good one. Reordering, that's a good one. I'm glad it captured that because you have to drag something, so Okay, nice to see we have that functionality. Image upload, that's a nice one. I don't know where it's going to get the image from. So it's testimage.jpg. Oh, there's one there. Let's see what the image of. Nothing. Test admin dashboard metrics. Article editing. Responsive design. That's a good test. I actually have not looked at this at all on responsive. So this is our initial list of tests. It looks reasonable on paper. We'll keep these changes. Oh, here's that test image. Actually nothing in it though, which is odd. Okay. I'm just going to say I don't see anything in this test image file. Me doing so is going to interrupt its flow. Okay, it's actually going to create. It's creating an image using some graphic libraries. Probably could have just pulled an image down from the web, but that's fine. It's using PIL, which is a common Python image library. Okay, that's fine. Stuck that create test image py in the tests directory, so that's clean, that's good. Changing requirements again to add pillow. Then we're going to pip install pillow. Creating a test image. I think there should be something in here now. Nope, not yet. Says now you should have a proper test image file in your test directory. This is a simple 100 by 100 pixel blue square. No, I still don't see anything in there. Nope. Unrecognized file format. I'm saying the image is still empty. Please fix. While it's doing that, here's a clean list of the 10 tests that it came up with. Again, this is a very nice starting point. Each test is marked with the pytest.mark.e2e decorator, so you can also just run the test with this Python command. The test will run in headed visible browser mode by default. You can change that in pytest.ini. You can run headless. Once your tests are running and you trust them, I think headless is fine. For now, let's keep it running so it's actually visible. The issue is that we need to run the create test image py script from the correct directory. Let me fix that. Accept. So I ran that command. Let's verify that the image was created and has content. So let me open this file. Yep, okay, we have a blue square now. Great. Okay, it says the image has been created. The file is now ready to be used. Would you like to proceed with running the Playwright tests? Okay, let's install the required dependencies and run the Playwright tests. Doing a pip install of requirements, installing Chromium. Okay, it's been a little while since I've done much with Playwright. So yeah, it's going to guide me along. It's going to run PyTest. I didn't set the admin or password, so I expect those to fail here, but let's see what happens. All right, these immediately fail. Module not found. No module named app. I have a feeling we're going to see some weird import stuff here already. Hopefully it caught that. And it did. I see the issue. We need to create the main Flask application file app.py that our tests are trying to import. Let me create that file. I apologize. It seems the app.py file already exists. Let me check its contents. And let me check if we have all the required models and extension files. The directory structure is maybe a little tricky. It's not basic Flask. It does have blueprints and a bunch of imports, so hopefully it's able to clarify this. This is great. We have all the necessary files for our application. Let's create a test configuration file to ensure we're using a test database and not the production one. Great, that's what we were just talking about. So I was going to create a temporary file as the test database. Yeah, great, okay. And then it cleans up after itself. Very nice, like to see that. Now modifying the test file to use the test configuration. So I removed all that. Replaced it with this. Setup DB, dropping all, creating all. Okay, so it's sticking the admin 123 in there. That's yeah, this name admin and admin 123 password. It's somewhere in the code. Should probably be variables though, but for now we're good. Okay, so it does look like it's actually going to be able to log into the admin, so that's good. Again, I don't love that it's in the code like this, but it'll do for our purposes here. Keep changes. Now let's try to run the tests again. Oh, failure again. Module not found. App again. The issue is that Python can't find our module. We need to add an empty initpy in the test directory to make it a Python package. Again, this is typical issues that you deal with Python and package management. So if it's able to fix this for us, it's well worth the price. Now we're adding the project root to the Python path before running the tests. Okay, I guess. Hey, look at that. We got browsers are opening and failing because I don't think the server is running. Yep, the tests are failing because the Flask server isn't starting properly. Let's modify our test configuration to ensure the server starts and add proper logging. Okay? Ooh. 67 new lines. Threading. Looks like it's going to start the server. That's good. We will keep those changes. And now it's editing the test e2e.py file. Okay, we added 35 lines. Looks like a lot of logging stuff. Looks like it's passing server in to that. Okay. Yes, some of this code is a little beyond me, to be honest. Okay, let's run the command again. Oh, I think we got something. Still don't think the server is running, though. Just want to play with this here. Oh, it's going to fail if I go out of Windsurf and try to. No, well, the server's running now, but the whatever test server it started up, it does not. It is not seeing any of the templates or the correct routes. Okay, so that failed and ultimately timed out. I'm gonna stop this run and I'm gonna tell it that it doesn't seem to be seeing any of the routes. Okay, I'm telling it that I could confirm the same behavior if I open a browser and try to hit port 5000. None of the routes are working. So it says the issue is in our test configuration, creating a new Flask app in the test file instead of using the actual application with its routes. Let me fix the test configuration. It sounds like a lot of duplicated code here, which I don't love. But again, I'm really not positive of what it's doing here. Okay, keep changes, I guess. I really don't know what it's doing. And then in conftest.py, yeah, I really don't know what it's doing. It says the key change here is that we're now importing the actual app instance from app.py instead of trying to create a new one. Okay, that sounds promising. Also, we've made the server fixture auto use equals true to ensure it's always running for our tests. Alright, sounds reasonable. Let's try again. Hey, look at that. Okay, so there's the admin page. Tried to log in, but getting invalid credentials, so looks like these admin tests are going to fail. The first one failed immediately. The second one is taking some time. I don't know why. I'm going to stop the test. I'm going to clue it in that the admin login is not working. Okay, it says I see the issue. The test configuration is using a dummy hash for the password, but we need to use a real password hash. Let me fix this in conftest.py. Okay, doing some hashing stuff. Okay. I saw somewhere that we were passing in admin and admin 123, but now we're passing a hash. I'm really not sure what this is doing. So run command, yes. Oh. Got a failure here. Usually it detects when there's an issue. Not quite sure what happened. I'm going to stop this run, and I'm going to pass this into the chat. That was a weird exception. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so since the previous test failed, it looks like maybe it got caught up in a weird state. So now it's going to add some cleanup code, which is good. Okay, we're importing signal. We're doing some advanced Flask stuff here. Doing some threading stuff. Okay, it looks like we're cleaning up by killing Python processes. Okay, there it goes. Added something new for setup test function. Okay, let's try to run again. Okay, we're running. Oh, looks like we're failing again because the server is not up. Round and round we go. We're still getting connection refused errors. Let's try to verify if the server is actually running. So we're going to run this command. It's doing checking the processes. The server isn't running. Let's modify our server fixture to use the Flask development server directly instead of workzog's make server. So I would prefer it to use the real server, but a test database, and hopefully that's where we'll end up here. Again, adding a bunch of code. I'm seeing some threading stuff, some daemon stuff. I don't know, way beyond me. Okay, I accepted that. Let's run again. Nope, still down. Okay, let's try to run the Flask server manually first to see if it works. Okay, so the server does start. If I go here as a regular user, I could get to articles, I could get to the home page, so that works. It acknowledges the server is running now. Let's modify our server fixture to use subprocess to run the Flask server instead of threading. All right. Seems to me like it's overcomplicating stuff, but I don't know. Going down a strange road here. Yeah, got rid of threading. Now we're doing subprocesses. Well, I have no idea. This is really getting very advanced stuff here. I think we're overcomplicating things. So now we're going to kill the process and start it again. Run the command. Nope. Server is still not up. Let's try one more approach, using Flask's test client instead of running a separate server. We're editing the conf test.py again. We removed a couple of imports. Creating a test client. And making more changes to the test e2e.py. That's weird. From your application, import app. Not quite sure what that is. Yeah, I don't know what any of this is. Test e2e.py. We're importing threading again. More threading. Okay, run again. Okay, well, it fixed something. Something's running and it's able to log into the admin. Yeah, it still failed though. But we are able to log in though, so I see that as a positive step. Now it's a matter of getting the locators right. Like I mentioned before, the last time I did this with Cursor, it was making up locators and things that didn't exist, things that I thought should exist. So it's not exactly looking at your code. It makes a lot of assumptions. So I'm gonna let all of these run. There's 10 of them. I think they're all gonna fail. At least the ones in the admin look like they're gonna fail. There's some locator that does not seem to be right. If I remember right, there's a verbose setting that you can pass into Playwright that as it fails, gives you a little bit more information, but looks like we're not running in that mode. So we're doing a search test now. It looks like it's not searching for anything. And notice that we only have one category here, test category. So this must be the test database that it's working off of. Well, this is running. I wonder if I could see the test database if I look under instance. No, it's not in instance. Maybe it's in memory. I don't know where this is. Next test was view counter. So I went to this article, has one view. Looks like that's going to fail too. So I don't know where this test database is, but it looks like it is running one based on the content that I'm seeing. This is category reordering. Since there's only one category, there's really nothing to reorder though, so I expect that to fail as well. Method not allowed when trying to add an article, so that's also going to fail. Okay, this test was for admin dashboard metrics, also failed. This one is article editing. Okay, so it looks like they're all going to fail. I'll just let these run through. Hey, looks like that last one passed, or something passed. Okay, so we have 9 failures that are here, but it doesn't show which one passed. Again, I think there's a verbose mode that would be more information, that would give more information. Alright, so it's returning great progress. The server is now running. The tests are able to connect. We have 2 types of failures. There's a URL mismatch because of a trailing space, and timeouts because some elements are not visible. It wants to add a helper function. Another 49 lines of code in here. Sure. Okay, so I added a helper function, increased the timeout, added explicit waits for elements to be visible, fixed URL assertions, and added more descriptive logging. Let's run the tests again. Okay, let's do this one more time. Hey, now it's passing. Well, that first one passed at least. That was just the admin login, so that's good. Whatever it did, this looks like way too long of a timeout. Alright, so I think we're going to have some of the same failures. The tests are running. The harness is set up. I said a few times I don't understand a lot of this code. I think it's overcomplicated. But we'll go with it. It's running. Since we're in a decent spot and things are at least running now, I'm going to commit this code. We'll stop the video here, and in the next video we'll continue to push this forward.